Good day, everyone. On this announcement, it's just to touch bases on the temperature outside. Whatever is naturally happening is what's meant to happen as it's unfolding every day as prophesied. Now, when I go outside, it's not that, it's that big of a deal. The majority, honestly, of the people here are not mentally to that extent where my video yesterday, it was not exaggerated, but because I can test the temperature when I'm outside, pretty much everybody is operating on what seems to be normal because what's going on is acclimated to a customized individual perception and vibration, as your body is the key with your mentality and your vibration that produces a type of signal that the field responds to. Now, if you in this setting, where I say it's a prison, it's a quarantined area in a biosphere, like the video with Dr. Samuel B. Lee, a very high priestess, very seasoned, and volunteered to be here with us as immediate family. And wherever placed, as Earth is a planned realm of people that come down here and volunteer to do this honorary work. So anybody that has a mental problem, it shows. And so getting off at 59th Street, I walked from 42nd all the way up to 110th by Central Park, on the west side. So coming back on the C train over there, that was 110th. I got off at 59th to go catch the 1 train, and when I got off, some white guy was complaining. So from that, the temperature is that, the internal conflict is on, but it's unfair to try to blame us when we don't have anything to do with that. Individually, whatever was done, we're more than our current lives, and this realm is karmics that recycle in order to not have an atheist type of mentality that they could do whatever they're wanting to do or they want to do, and there's no repercussions. Karma is that repercussion, that everything would seem copacetically normal, and then during this time, we make these announcements, and then the response is, we don't give a shit, fuck you. We don't want to hear about doomsday. And like I said yesterday, it's basically leisure of volunteering from higher up, that if we think that our family passes on and we acknowledge there has to be a higher power of some sort of intelligence that made the planet that we all as little people are walking on, as the planet is not a panicking situation with announcements that actually are meant to put us on, whereas the facetiousness of people that really think of me as a joke are suffering now, like very much in a state of mental turmoil, as I indicated I had to go through before I woke up. So those individuals, in a description of a layman's term, are mentally in hell because the announcements weren't to be not focused on, in the internalness of people communicating to me as criminals, as I'll explain now, to manipulate reality to do whatever they wanted. So those were the first that were talking to me within my skin suit, and I speak to their soul that is a combination now of what their current life is and a list of storage of information pertaining to what they've been consistently doing. So, me tapping into the vastness of my consciousness, I'm able now during judgment naturally to pick up on people's facetiousness, non caring attitudes, and not really giving two shits about what's happening. And that is fucked up. Because if they don't care, as in the solar gathering of who they are currently, and they don't give a shit, that means they can potentially be extremely dangerous. And that's what I saw yesterday. If we did the test and people overseas stationed in the military saw what was happening in their realm of what is masked by others that don't get to see what those in a low vibration can see, because our vibration is so high. We don't need to be able to see a low responsive field in the environment mirroring our mentality to give us lessons and blessings, or our state as a receipt, that does recede or pull back any mask of what the world we knew it to be used to be. So the receding is what we want it to be, and the actuality of the product of the sleeping giant that woke up. So this thorough message is not going to be too long-winded. You are the key. You are the co-creator of your experiences. You are the adult and children 7 or 8 or 9, really 7 to 9, that understands the difference between right from wrong. They'll get to see whatever the product of their past life with their parents right now to conglomerate or to join or conjunction their experiences, depending on who that child's soul is in the gathering or storage of all that they lived, and the current moment of what their potential would be in alignment with the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. Yeah. You are born to who you're born with. There's no coincidence. And the only way to enter these quarantined, I say prison, because you're locked in. If you do not know how to get out, the way to get out is what we said, is to go within oneself and heal. And then the dark night is your actual soul that was nudging you to integrate bad thoughts and clean it away by forgiveness and loving yourself. That's the process. If people said to me respectfully, fuck you, and they didn't want to acknowledge, and now they have to, because seeing is believing. Last night, I didn't see no cops in the train stations. That was pretty alarming. Very alarming. So my response on my way home is that these areas that some people secretly don't realize, that wherever we walk, it's a barricade, to reinforce those areas are contained, so that the spill out in natural nature of everybody that's still pretty much living, that we shift out of in opposite directions. Those who perceive higher and those who stay complacently where they are and regress to lower states by being angry. They are contained. So the key to get out of your area of wherever you are, contain that you currently feel complacently. That's my home. That's where I grew up. This is my neighborhood. This is where I live. Then you see whatever that produces in groups of family members that are all gathered in those places that don't realize they're more connected as family members in a like-mindedness that makes them coexist in centralized, concentrated neighborhoods. So if people, don't realize sometimes, to my chosen ones, not to prohibit them from functioning in life normally, you can test it out that you don't have to make an announcement, but you are protected, and your vibration allows you to walk anywhere and be anywhere and fit in, because the matrix can mask you to look like somebody else if it's necessary for you to be in those areas. If you get a feeling empathically not to do it, I would not push the issue. But if you do, for whatever it is, makes sense to whatever it is that you want to do, make it make sense, right? Because we have internal guidance. So make sure it's worth your while and it makes literal sense. Okay? To go in certain areas, if you get a feeling empathically not to go there, right? So make it your worth of your experience, not right, to not test the waters too much. Right. Just go with the flow and go with your internal, what we say, gut feeling. So make it worth that you listen to your internal guidance, not to push the letter too much. But in light of not being strapped, what I mean is to feel stressed that you can't go where you want. I don't want that impression to pump fear in the hearts of anyone, really, but they'll get to see, right? Because I tested it. We'll fit in wherever we go. The matrix would mask us because we should leisurely be able to walk anywhere on planet Earth. And that's why I'm in the roughest and toughest neighborhood. As I said earlier, I went to the supermarket, the closest one to me right here, and in Brooklyn. And whatever was said to me, it just wasn't making sense. They took my OTC card and I wanted to pay for it, and I could not use my food stamp card that has a few dollars on it, and my OTC card, same thing. And then I went to the bank to transfer my money from my savings to my checking, and it did not register that the money was shifted for me to use, so I had to get cash. So somebody put that on the videos that I saw, that, yeah, we got to use cash. Whatever the system was before, we literally vibrate higher, the chosen ones. Yep. And so look at Little Promises over there in Africa, and especially my videos, right? I am here in America. So Little Promises coincides with me a lot. And the reason why I'm saying that is because she's a prophetess. So she has more of a religious field, but she's still very much on point. And me, I'm more and more on point because I'm right here in the midst of what's going on. And my spiritual background is the highest. Yep. So I interact with demons directly because I conquered my fears, and I label myself like, what can I be afraid of? I'm the biggest, if you want to call me a demon, it means a diamond. The biggest light bearer, the lighthouse, the informant, the data of what to do, the guidance in the dark during the darkest times or the darkest hour. And so you got people that are around me that I utilize as a means to check the temperature in mentalities out there. Some of them, my immediate family that fell, and others are Caucasians that been fell. Yeah. So not everybody with white skin is negative. Right. You got people that God or yourself, hierarchy, when I say God, responsible for all souls, that would be me. Even though it seems fantastical and my bipolarism diagnosis gives off a front. So it's meant to test people to determine if they can distinguish discerningly the facts when someone tells you about themselves. You cannot come behind that and say that person is not who they state they are in alignment with the signs of times and chosen ones that God consciousness woke us up within us. So when he woke me up, surprise, I realized, not for anybody else, my energetic signature to my parents as unique to me was that I was hiding, and I wasn't. We died a long time ago. So I just now, in the vastness of my mind, little by little, being upright and being a gift and very magical from in heaven, I received the title Woman King because I'm so magical and so honorable to keep the family from fighting, right? And reinstating back a type of order. Whatever leadership from the male dominance, we share the title, me and my husband, Anshar, and my husband, Yanun. So the story of Anu that has two wives, Id and Antum, it's opposite. It's a female that has two husbands. And I'm androgynous. I have a genitalia higher up of a male. And it's two phalluses. Yep, for a pleasure palace or a place that's pleasurable. But that's, for people who get to climb that high up. Right now, it's all work. And we can't really do what everybody else does in light of work. This is work for those who are chosen. We get to honorarily help others. And the code to enter any realm is your own self being the key. That's where in the Bible it says, heaven opens up within you first, because you got to become, like I advertised, the actual vessel that gets into those places. You are the key. And so whatever you witness from within yourself shows you your receipt of either, like Yanun said, Dr. Malachi Z.K. York, Panabab Yanun, the master Yanun, the opener of the seven seals, meaning the secrets about the heavens, the seven heavens. Knowledge is power once applied to show that whoever it is that heard the call, like in The Knowing with Nicolas Cage and the two children that got saved and removed off the planet when all this mayhem and chaos and cataclysmic catastrophe and all that's happening now, individually and in groups of a like-mindedness, hell is a state of mind. So we cannot blame others for announcing at a courtesy to at least put people on that this is what's happening. If it pertains to my life, I want to hear about it. That's what I was saying yesterday outside. If it pertains to my life and it's going to affect me, these announcements, I don't want to shush people up. I want, if you have more tea about what's going to affect my mental peacefulness, then I want to hear what you got to say. I don't want to tell you don't talk about doomsday and don't disturb the peace. I understand the mentality. But right now we see why angelic beings and the Most High waking us up, that I took over, right? 30 years of the male teaching. This is the man, woman of the hour, 30 years that we have one more hour in testing. That was the first hour, 1970 to 2000, that's half. 2000 to 2030, that's the other half. And then one more hour. We love you. Just think positive and don't attract more negativity to you.